with stupid people on the internet. Some of my friends, yes, have become conspiracy theorists throughout that time. And for those that I've played this song for, they're the ones that come up afterwards and are like, I love that new song. I'm like, why? It's just, it's so interesting. I just love it. I'm like, oh, well, that's good. It's about you. This next song here was also written during the pandemic, and this song was written on the morning after John Prine actually passed away. Yeah, back to the sad songs here. But the thing is, everybody knows who John Prine is in this room, right? And if you don't, I'll just say it real quick. He was the songwriter's songwriter. He's every songwriter's favorite songwriter, and the fandom that people have for John Prine, I didn't really realize it until he passed away, just how big of an influence he was on so many people and how much his music meant to so many people. Because, being a John Prine fan is not like being a Grateful Dead fan where you all go out into the woods and take drugs together and listen to John Prine, you know what I mean? You don't really know it, just how many people he touched until he was gone. And it meant a lot to me, too. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons is when I was a little kid, my dad used to put me to bed every night and pull out the acoustic guitar and sing Angel from Montgomery every single night. And, he'd do his own rendition of it, so it'd go, I am an old woman named after my mother, like that. It's his own version. And, but, to be honest, because of that version, I thought, honestly, that my dad wrote Angel from Montgomery until I was way too old. I was actually in college, right? And, yeah, this is embarrassing. And one of my buddies picked up my guitar in the dorm, and he was like, I am an old woman named after my mother. And I was like, how the hell do you know that song? And he was like, it's John Prine. And I was like, of course it is. I got to go make a call real quick. So I didn't realize that John Prine's music had followed me through my entire life. And being the musician that I am, playing the type of music that I play, over the years, I've been fortunate enough to play a bunch of different festivals with John Prine over the years. Yeah, it's really special. And yes, when I say play festivals, perhaps our set was Friday at 11 a.m. and his was Sunday at 6 p.m. But it still counts. You're still on the poster. And you get a wristband that lasts all weekend to go backstage and drink all the beer and eat all the snacks. So the last festival that we played with John Prine was the Hardly Strictly Bluegrass Festival in San Francisco in 2017. And so we played our set, and we were off the clock Friday at noon, had nothing to do for the next 3 days, but drink all the beer and eat all the snacks backstage and hobnob with rock stars. Like that guy. And it was great. But on the Sunday, I decided to bring my dad. I got him a wristband, brought him backstage, kind of a take your dad to work day kind of thing, because he used to do that with me when I was a kid, so I wanted to show him just how successful and cool I was. And I want to tell you just this one story, actually, so I take my dad to show him how cool I am, right? We're off backstage, but watching Lucas Nelson and The Promise of the Real just like tear it up on stage. He's all sweaty and he's like rocking out and everything, and he finishes his set, comes off stage, and there's all these like big wig execs and rock stars like standing around waiting to shake his hand, and he comes down the stairs and walks right through those people, just looking my dad straight in the face, walks up to my dad and he goes, hey man, thanks for coming, and puts out his hand, and my dad like takes his hand like a fucking Game of Thrones handshake, like grabbed him by the forearm and he pulled him in close and he said, you made your daddy proud today, son. And I fucking fainted. Lucas Nelson blushed. And my dad looked so cool in that moment. We had had a number of beers up to that point. I'm not going to tell you the story about drinking more beers and then embarrassing himself in front of Robert Earl Keen, but we'll maybe for another time. But around 6 p.m. on that Sunday, I got a call from our roadie, Gutter. And he said, "Get your ass over to the main stage right now. I got a surprise for you." And so we got our asses over to the main stage. And we get backstage. And he says, "I got you side stage for John Prine." I was like, oh, shit. So 25,000 some odd people in the audience, maybe 6 of us on stage watching John Prine. And, you know, when he went into Angel from Montgomery, as the sun was setting over the trees in Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, he only had this little whisper of a voice left. He had had throat cancer, part of his throat removed. And honestly, I don't think he's ever sounded better, because I think John Prine wrote songs that only an old man could sing well. You know, he finally grew into his songs. You know what I mean? And it was beautiful, but he only had this little whisper of a voice left. And so when he started, "I am an old woman," the whole audience hushed and whispered along. 25,000 people in the audience whispering every single word along with him. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. And I wish I could explain it exactly how it was that we experienced it. But you can find this performance on YouTube. And I found it, and I wanted to see if it still had that same magic, and it did. And when I watched it, if you watch it, and you look to the left-hand side of the screen, it's a little blurry, but you can see 2 kind of stocky, swarthy men just bawling their fucking eyes out. Like heaving, like visibly shaking. And that was me and my dad having a full circle John Prine moment. And that was the last time we ever saw John Prine alive. So yeah, it hurt a lot to find out that he had passed away. And he was the first person to pass away from COVID-19 that I had known. So it hit that much harder. And so I couldn't sleep that night. I got up around 4 o'clock in the morning, made a cup of coffee, and grabbed my guitar. And I wrote this song on the first sunrise without John Prine. And the song is called John Prine. This morning I woke before the sunrise. I couldn't sleep after finding out last night you had died. Tossing and turning from one side to the other. Poured myself a cup, not a moment too soon. I got to see as the sunlight crept into the room. But this new dawn was a little darker than those I remembered. Hello, operator, I know it's been a long time. Could you patch me through to God and keep him on the line? I got a friend, wanna make sure he made it all right. Down here, he goes by the name John Prine. And I can hear you breathing all the way from the other side. Where I can hear all the songs you've been singing from all of us who won't ever let them die. Whispering angel from Montgomery. Turns out living wasn't such a hard way to go. How could we ever have known that when you died alone, that Montgomery's angel had flown? This morning I woke before the sunrise. Couldn't sleep after finding out last night you had died. Gut down in your prime, and then put out to pasture. Josh wrote me, Sam, what are we supposed to do now? All I thought to write back was just make him proud. Write songs in his name and send him off to the happily ever after. Oh, hello, operator. I know it's been a long time. Could you patch me through to God and keep him on the line? I got a friend, wanna make sure he made it all right. Down here, he goes by the name of John Prine. Oh, hello, operator. I know it's been a long time. Could you patch me through to God and have him send me a sign? I got a friend, wanna make sure he made it all right. Down here, he goes by the name John Prine. John Prine. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, shit, it is 6 o'clock now. All right, I've got one more song left, and then I'm going to pretend like I'm done, and then I'm going to play one more song. We don't have time for this encore bullshit. I'll do Rock Bottom. I didn't write Purple Rain, so I'll do Rock Bottom. But this is for you. The song's called Rock Bottoms Never Felt So Good. Thank you very much. I'm Sam Chase, and I'm going to pretend like I'm done after this, and then I'm going to do something else. Oh, we've all got our problems. We all have pockets to fill. We got our grocery lists and things we've missed to pay, our cell phone bills. I spend my nights on the bar, seeing my friends bartend, so I drink for free until the world starts spiraling and I'm poured into the street. And I can see it all go down from the lights of this town. It is lighting my descent and all the times that I have spent misunderstood. Rock bottoms never felt so good. Oh, maybe I should start this over. Maybe try doing it sober. Swear tonight will be the night that I will not wake up hungover. But all of a sudden the sun is rising, and it's not very surprising that I'm lying on the roof, drinking Jack and railing lines, and I can see it all go down from the lights of this town. It is lighting my descent and all the times that I have spent misunderstood. Sing along if you know it. Rock bottoms never felt so good. Rock bottoms never felt so good. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. They say you can't do this forever. I don't intend to prove them wrong, but you know, even the longest lives don't really last for very long. So I'll live it while I've got it. What I've got, I'm living fine. But when you tell your kids your stories, you know they'd all rather hear mine. 'Cause I've seen the sunrise from a million different pairs of eyes. And I smoked many a cheap cigar, drank many more cheaper wines. And oh, you don't seem so impressed, at least as far as I can tell. You know, I can play guitar and sing, and I can do it pretty well. And I owe every lyric, every riff, and every song to all the things that I have done, even when most of them were wrong. You know, that is just my life, when nothing ever seems enough. You can tell me what you will about my ways, and I'll politely tell you to fuck off. when I can see it all go down from the lights of this town. It is lighting my descent and all the times that I have spent misunderstood. Rock bottoms never felt so good. Rock bottoms never felt so good. Oh, rock bottoms never felt so good. Thank you. Good night. Fine. Oh, do I have a sad song for you? I'll play one more song, but just because you all got down on your knees and begged. Never meant to cause you any sorrow. Never meant to cause you any pain. Just wanted one time to see you laughing. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. I never wanted to be your weekend lover. Only wanted to be some kind of friend. Hey, honey, I can never steal you from another. Such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you dancing in the purple rain. And I know, times are changing. We're all trying to reach out for something new. And that means you too. Say you want to lead her, but you can't seem to make up your mind. You better close it. Let me guide you onto the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain guitar. Oh, Thank you very much, everybody. My name is D. Sam Chase. I've got a bunch of merch over here for sale. There better be a $100 bill in that tip bucket, because I had another song in mind. But thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night.